Yeah, it's your boy Crypto Blood, and welcome to another episode of My Two Satoshis. It is February 18th, 2019. Let me give a shout out to my man Shinobi1 for this song request, Souls of Mischief, 93 Till Infinity. Old school hip hop right here. Hope you guys doing well today, and thanks again Shinobi1 for the song request. What's good, people? Hope you guys are doing all right today. Today we are going to be touching on what's going on with this bull run we've had. I drew this on the Ethereum chart. You can see it more prominently on the Ethereum chart, but we had a pennant breakout that happened, and it's just been to the moon since. So I personally think it's a combination of, just technical stuff going on and some fundamental news in the markets. So we're going to take a look at what's going on. Ethereum is up, I think, over 15%, and their supply just dropped 35%. So we'll take a look at that correlation with the price and the pop in that crypto as well. And then secondly, Wyoming, the state of Wyoming actually just passed two crypto laws, and that's great, and how that's going to benefit the blockchain movement as a whole. Wyoming has been very proactive about blockchain, so it's great to see them doing their thing out there. So we're going to take a look at those two things here in a second, but first let's take a look at the market cap. We are currently at 132 billion. What a move up. Finally we got something. Look at these lockstep moves up. Glad we didn't see a Bart Simpson. I was wrong. I thought we would, but wrong for a good reason. I'm fine with being wrong in this case. And yeah, we're moving up here, people. So if we take a look, if I zoom this out a little bit, the date range, and go, let's say six months. We go 6 months here. We still got a long way to go, but the next area we should be looking to score a point on is the 135 area. And if we breach that, the 142 is really the area that I'm looking at to see if we can make a move up there, score a point above 142, and maybe pull back a little bit after that. But if we can get above 142 market cap for the entire cryptocurrency markets, that will be excellent, very bullish. And I told you, it looks like that 3,000 is in. Like 3,000 really may have been the low. That's where I was saying I don't think we're going below that. Many people out there were saying that we were. I'm still not convinced. 3,000. If we go below 3,000, we've got some problems. I'm just letting you know. So yeah, 132 billion right now as of the time of recording. So as I stated, you can't really see what I'm talking about from as far as a breakout on Bitcoin, but if we look at it on Ethereum, it plays out perfectly. I drew this maybe 4 or 5 days ago. Nice textbook breakout to the upside off of this pennant. So let's see what happens, man. This is good news, though. I think the bottom is in. I said this well in the middle of the bear market. Technically speaking, I just didn't see anything below 3,000. So that's just my take on it. So let's go ahead and get into the first article of today, and that is about Ethereum jumping 15% off of the new supply restriction of 35%. So it says here, Ethereum has spiked above 140. The coin has risen by more than 40% in the past 2 weeks, from circa 100 to now 143 at the time of writing. Many of the other cryptos have turned green too, but ETH is running the show for now as new supply falls to below 13,000 from circa 20,000. The ice age has kicked in and may provide another supply drop to perhaps circa 10,000 ETH before the Constantinople fork delays the difficulty bomb by 12 months and maintains new supply at about 13,000. So we're looking at, people, a structural fundamental reason, and we're seeing market forces kind of play this, a fundamental reason for Ethereum to pop the way it has, and that is because that difficulty bomb is kicking in, or has kicked in, and that's what part of Constantinople's upgrade is, to slow down that or delay the difficulty bomb, because it is actually not a good thing. If we continue to not have an upgrade with Ethereum, we could see a very bad issue with Ethereum's network and things getting locked up as the difficulty bomb starts to eat away at the supply of new Ethereum. But it also slows down the network, and it's just a lot of bad things that can happen if they don't institute a delay on the difficulty bomb. So as I read on here, it says, as demand remains constant or increases, a fall in supply means an increase in price. Why demand is remaining constant or increasing, however, it is not very clear. One reason might be a sense of realism which has descended on Ethereum recently. Ethereans were generally happy to let devs do their thing because they were delivering. That seemingly changed beginning with the very poorly announced decision to scrap hybrid Casper last summer, and then the constant delays on a very simple fork. That led to some Ethereans speaking up, with others now perhaps hopeful that there may be some accountability and thus some improvements. Of course, this is to be expected after Ethereum saw a 93% price fall in circa 14 months, with the peak of inflated expectations giving way to the trough of disillusionment. The grind has probably left only the strongest hands still around, in addition to providing some clarity on what exactly is inflated expectation. The more clear-eyed view many allow for more constructive criticisms and thus improvement. Humans, however, don't quite like criticisms as much as they may say otherwise, so things can get a bit messy. In the process, you then get enlightenment. Article goes on to say here, seeing how not one word was said about hybrid Casper's scrapping, even though it was a shocking surprise to many, investors may have thought there was still far too much delusion back in June of 2018. So they kept selling until it looks like there's less of a groupthink and people no longer feel unable to raise concerns and different viewpoints. Logically, that might suggest problems are now being identified and thus can hopefully be addressed. In anticipation of it, investors might think there will be a better product or it will be delivered faster. That's all speculation. However, price remains unpredictable, so it's only with hindsight that clarity can be gained on why price moved in a certain direction. I'm just going to let you guys know, me personally, it was the technical break, the pennant break, and then also you got the fundamental difficulty bomb thing kicking in. Those two things definitely contributed to this Ethereum rise. So long term, I'm still bearish. I'm going to be honest. I'm still bearish on Ethereum because they've not convinced to me that they can really compete with the third generation blockchains just yet. So if I were someone trading, I would be still looking to short at these higher prices here. 140, that's a 40% increase in 2 weeks. That's crazy. That means you can make a lot of money if you get it right on the short side. So you guys let me know, what are your thoughts? Why do you think we saw this pop in Ethereum? And of course, the rest of the market kind of popped a little bit as well. We're at about $132 billion market cap with cryptos right now. Let me know your thoughts about what's going on there. Invest in Blockchain is the next article, and it's talking about Wyoming finally passing 2 crypto bills. And it poses the question, who will benefit from that? So the U.S. state of Wyoming is quickly becoming the hotbed for crypto regulation in the country, with lawmakers now proposing 2 more bills for legislation, this time focused on legitimizing cryptocurrencies as an asset class. The bill SF0125 recognizes property rights in the direct ownership of digital assets. So an excerpt from the bill says here, clarifying digital assets within existing laws, specifying that digital assets are property within the Uniform Commercial Code, authorizing security interests in digital assets, establishing an opt-in framework for banks to provide custodial services for digital asset property as custodians, and specifying standards and procedures for custodial services under this act. Goes on to say here that Caitlin Long, member of the Wyoming Blockchain Coalition, publicized the news on Twitter today. She said, boom, Wyoming just recognized clear direct property rights for digital assets by passing the SF125. This means that blockchain will probably want to apply Wyoming law to your contracts domicile here and or have a physical presence here. Thanks again to the army of people who helped over the months. Goes on to say here, it makes perfect sense that Wyoming is the epicenter of blockchain law in the U.S. That's also why institutional investors, which are prohibited by federal law from directly owning the assets they manage, can rest assured that Wyoming's digital asset custodians are actually solvent, Long says. Wyoming has been in the thick of things when it comes to blockchain-related regulation, with the state passing several laws in crypto since the new year began. This new development joins the ratification of 2 laws passed only a few weeks ago. One law officially deemed cryptocurrencies as money. Shortly after, the state authorities went in a little further and recognized crypto as a property. While the U.S. is lagging behind other nations in terms of overall regulation, some states are taking up the mantle, keen to leverage the powers of blockchain. New Hampshire has proposed that Bitcoin be considered for state tax payments, while Colorado senators have introduced a digital token act to exempt digital assets from security laws. I'm loving it. I'm loving it, people. So the key point about this bill is the fact that it addresses property law, which states are allowed to determine. The target audience of this new bill will primarily be individuals and institutional investors. Now that digital assets are deemed as property, these entities can directly hold digital assets and not indirectly through an intermediary. Caitlin Long is optimistic that this change in legality could attract heavy institutional investment in blockchain companies in Wyoming. So, yeah, I mean, I'll let you guys read the rest, but man, this is big. This is great. We need more states to be more proactive like Wyoming is. You know, Caitlin Long, I think, is a former either CFTC or one of those financial governmental bodies that is really taking a very big position in Wyoming. I think that's her home state. So she's really active there. And I'm glad, man. This is good news. And I think this is going to be the shape of things to come for other states coming up. So I just wanted to let you guys know about this situation. Those 2 bills have passed, and it's a green light for crypto to be looked at as property. That's huge, man. What do you guys think about that? Let me know your thoughts, of course. And that's pretty much it for today. I want to give another shout out to my man Shinobi1 for the song request today. Souls of Mischief, 93 Till Infinity. It's your boy Crypto Blood. And that's my 2 Satoshis for February 18th, 2019. We out of here, people. Ha!